You're watching Oilersnation Radio.
Fresh episode, Oilersnation Radio. Quick programming note. We are back to 2 a week. Next week. That means Tuesday's episode will be our great season predictions episode.
Like, I'm thinking we do, like, maybe a delicious debate off the top and then just do predictions for the final 40 minutes.
Totally agree.
Why doesn't the debate just be the predictions?
I don't know.
What if we all agree? Not much of a debate.
We should debate ahead of time whether we're going to agree or not.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start writing down some ideas.
So look out for that on Tuesday. We are going to be back to 2 a week for the season. The big predictions episode is coming up on Tuesday. If you listen to the update from last year's predictions episode, we didn't do well.
Not really.
Depends who you ask.
We got to pick it up.
Yep.
But that's because we didn't know that we were going to be recording it and talking about it later.
Yeah, this time I know that we're going to go backwards, so I got to put some effort into it.
Yeah, I'm writing
Yeah, a little
down.
thought.
We're not used to that. We usually just
Normally
make
we
predictions
just-
and then never
I
talk
assume
about
someone's
it.
going to
Unless
lose
we're
everything.
Yeah,
Unless
they
it's
just
like
go
me.
out into the ether and we forget about them forever.
Yeah,
Unless
like,
they're
what did we
really
do?
right
No
at
idea.
the time I said McDavid was going to get 100 points.
That is true.
I still
Dan
don't
did
think
say
it's
that.
gonna
I
happen.
won't shut up about it.
That's ridiculous.
So watch out for us. More Oilers Nation Radio starting next week. You're very lucky to have us. You're welcome. Liam, thoughts?
You're welcome.
See? You ready for basketball season, I see?
Yeah, Celtics guy, eh?
So we're going to add this.
Did you just jump on the bandwagon?
I've been one for years since Shaquille O'Neal was there.
Wasn't he there for like a month?
Yeah.
Might have been like
It was his last team he played for.
When I think of Shaq, I think of
Wayne
Shaq with the
Landed, he got off,
Celtics.
got back on.
Yeah, you know, you think of Shaq, you think of his time in Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
his time in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Left a real legacy there.
Yep.
One of the best.
The only teams that I remember him playing for,
Yep.
you know?
And Phoenix.
Oh, he was a son.
He was a son, yeah.
I just remember him in the Magic uniform.
I have a Shaq Magic jersey. It comes out every now and
It
then.
is a sick
That
jersey.
is sweet.
Remember when they used to have the Shaq shoes in
course.
Foot Locker?
They were
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah, 22s or something like that.
Last time I was in Vegas, I saw those babies. I was at behind, what casino is that? Planet Hollywood?
Mm.
They had the Shaq shoes.
No,
still
that was
in
just
Makes
some
sense
guy
to me.
showing you his shoes.
there. Yes.
Hey,
Check these out.
So check out this shoe.
Shaq wore
Shaq's shoe.
Well, it was
Pretty
like
sure
3 in the
he's-
afternoon, so BM had a couple bevies already.
He goes, Shaq's shoe. And I go, okay. And he goes, now buy my mixtape. I'm like,
So I'm pretty
Got
sure
me.
Shaq was bigger than an 8.5. I'm not going to lie.
that's how they get you. They show you a Shaq shoe and then they sell you a mixtape. Anyway, most of my compact discs are now mixtapes that I bought on the headways in Vegas, crossing the strip. It's a problem I have. Tyler, we're going to get a delicious debate, but first, very excited. Very excited. This has kind of been brewing up for a little bit now, behind the scenes.
I see what you did there.
Me too. That scared the
This people that constantly, hey, cold performer, this fucking 1-800 number that calls me, no lie, 4 times a day.
you gotta block it.
It's coming.
Well, give him one more day. Maybe they turn it around.
They're probably listening to this well, not right now, but they'll eventually get to it, so by Monday you won't get the calls anymore.
Listen, I'm if they just calmed it down a little, I wouldn't have to block them. Anyway,
Remember the days when we all had different ringtones?
we should go back to that.
BM's is cool.
It is cool.
distinct.
Yeah.
Anyone have the crazy frog ringtone?
What is that?
Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
Mine's still Law and Order.
A lawnmower?
Law and Order's theme song. Bum bum.
Yeah, just Dan's phone ring. Just
Just whatever pops up.
That's my youngest actually has a motorcycle sound for her texts. It's a jarring sound.
my old
Not
man.
like that at all.
My old man took my dog Frank's bark, and that is his ringtone. By the way, happy birthday to my dog Frank. Very handsome boy.
Frank.
All right, delicious debate time. But first, the announcement I was getting to.
Oh, yeah.
Sidetracked very
Buried the lead.
clumsily. It's been a minute. It's been a while. We've been working on this behind the scenes, and now we are excited to partner with Odd Company Brewing to bring back Nation Beer.
Hooray.
Been around for any length of time. Nation Beer has been a staple for us. And we've been looking for a new home for it for a while, so Odd Company is stepping in. We're very excited. It's the Nation Beer Everyday Lager is coming soon to cans and taps near you. Perfect for the next big game or your go-to lager. Nation Beer Everyday Lager. stay tuned. We are partnering up with Odd Company. I cannot wait to drink 1,000 of them responsibly over the course of
1,000
days. And
days.
months. Yes, that's right.
The cans look so cool. I'm
They
just
do
looking
look
at
cool.
it right now.
We're going to be teasing the label here a little bit too. So cool can label coming up. Delicious beer. You are going to be well hydrated, allegedly, in my opinion.
If you're watching on the YouTube, I think you'll get a look at the cans right now.
Bing.
Why? Like I don't do it anymore.
Who does it?
Eli.
Oh, Eli, put a picture of the cans on.
Well,
Liam's just like, what?
Someone else's problem.
All right. Nation Beer is coming back. Odd Company, we love you. Tyler, Delicious Debate is?
Final preseason game tonight. Here's the
God.
Oilers lineup.
Thank God.
Nuge, McDavid, Hyman, Skinner, Draisaitl, Arvidsson, Janmark, Henrique, Brown, Podkolzin, Philp, and Perry. Blue line, Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Emberson, Kulak, Stetcher. Debate this. Will this be the lineup on Wednesday?
There is no debate. Yes.
Yeah, Ryan got
You got D.
injured.
Ryan out.
Ryan's injured.
Yeah, he's not starting.
Is he injured?
Yeah, they said he's day to day.
What happened? Old?
Seems like a front.
Day to day, today.
As a fellow old man, I can tell you,
Today,
sometimes you just
Junior.
wake up and you're sore.
Yeah.
I don't know about putting Stuart Skinner on the top line, but
Second
we'll see
line.
what Pickard is.
Second line.
Sorry,
He's
second
fine.
line, yeah.
It'll be okay.
He watched Mighty Ducks 2, and he saw that when Goldberg came out today.
Stuart Skinner just becomes the Shohei of hockey.
Okay, just quickly, the fact that Derek Ryan is day-to-day does open the door for him to be the fourth line center on opening night. He's just not healthy enough to go right now.
Yeah.
So do you think Derek Ryan will play on Wednesday?
No.
Or do you think Noah Philp deserves to be the fourth line center? Part one of the debate.
I think Noah Philp deserves to get the first shot.
I think Noah Philp, like, he's
You
been
know what
so
you have in
impressive.
Derek Ryan. Let's give the kid a shot.
And you've got a kid who's you're developing him. The story's fantastic.
Incredible.
He seems to be, I know preseason, a whiz on the dot. He's a right-handed center. He's big. He's quicker than Derek Ryan. I guess the counter, if you want to have one, is DR is an effective penalty killer for the team. And is Noah Philp going to be expected to do that this early? I don't know.
It's game one.
I don't know.
Yeah, that is a good point, because like, who are their penalty killing forwards then? Let's assume they might use Philp in that role, but if they
Entire third
don't,
line.
Brown, Janmark, Henrique,
Nuge.
Podkolzin, I guess. Hyman could maybe do a little bit of it.
You still have Leon taking draws if you want.
Yeah, okay, they do have enough PK guys. Interesting.
What do you think then?
So is everyone unanimous on Philp? Or
I actually think that Derek Ryan will get opening night just because he's a veteran, and you give the veteran the opening night. It's a banner night. He's going to watch the Western Conference Final come up. Game 2, Philp's in.
Nobby hasn't shown himself to be a guy that necessarily goes to the veterans all the time, but I just think that Derek Ryan's a guy that's earned the trust and earned that spot still in Nobby's lineup. So I think Derek Ryan's there.
The way I phrased it on ONE was like Noah Philp's done a lot to earn that job, but Derek Ryan has also done nothing to lose it. Like, he's played well in the preseason, so
He had some nice dangles too.
yeah, like, does the incumbent maybe not have to lose the job a little bit to lose the job? For the record, I think Philp will play opening night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, like, I'm on the fence about it, because there's the part of me that thinks like you do BM, and like I just said, like, no, he's the vet. Play the vet on opening night, banner night, all that. But then I'm also just like, he's played so good that isn't there a message to maybe send that, like, hey, training camp means something. You show up, you play well, there's a job for you. I don't know. Unless you're Ben Gleason. No matter how good you play, you always get sent down.
That's right.
I don't really know what my answer is. I do think it'll just depend on Ryan's injury. If he's healthy, he'll play. I kind of stand by that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before when we debated on O&E, I didn't know Ryan was injured. I thought this was just a decision that they had put Philp in over him. But I kind of like what BM just said there. Like, you give Ryan the respect of, like, you're on the team last year. You helped us get to this Western Conference Finals the Stanley Cup Finals and win the Western Conference. Like, that should mean something. I agree with you also that camp should matter. And if you play well in it, then you deserve a spot. So I think ultimately Philp's going to make this team one day this season. I don't know when it'll be. But I think my final statement,
He's gone both sides if anyone noticed there.
Derek Ryan will play if he's healthy.
Who plays more games this season?
Derek Ryan.
You just said that Philp might make this team eventually this season. Are you saying he is not on the roster to start game one then?
I think the best option for Philp would be to send him down and play him in the American League. just to start the year, just to get his feet moving. Get like at the end of the day,
He'll play more minutes
for a full year. Like, and I think he'll be fine either way. I don't disagree or agree with either decision. I think they're both good decisions. So I think with Philp too, and one thing is he's obviously a center. You can push Derek Ryan to the wing, and that's the difference between Philp and Lavoie. Is like you don't have that much flexibility with Lavoie. He's kind of on the right wing, or he's not playing. Where Philp is like, hey, you can have Philp in the lineup, and then we can have Derek Ryan on the left, or Philp on the left, Derek Ryan in the middle, something like that.
So you actually think he goes down?
I think he will go down.
Because who do we have right now who's not there?
Drake Kajula,
Yeah.
Lavoie,
Yeah.
and Ryan. I don't think they have any defensemen. Oh,
Yeah,
Josh Brown and Dermott, who they haven't signed yet.
Dermott. So yeah, Brown goes down. He signed Dermott.
I don't know that Brown
Drake goes down, and he run with 14.
I don't know that Brown goes down, man.
I
He's
think
not playing in this. He's been taken out of the lineup here. You're putting. This is pretty much whether we. The argument can be said to be who's going to play at center, and I guess who's going to be your 3RD, right?
yes.
That's why I think.
But if there's no injury if there's an injury to Ryan, and that's why Philp's playing right now, would you not then therefore think that based on this, there's either an injury to Brown or Stetcher's going to start on Wednesday?
I would start Stetcher on Wednesday. I just think that, like, I don't know, man. I don't like watching Josh Brown play.
He shouldn't be in the NHL.
I
He should not
agree
be
with
on,
you.
Sorry, I take it back. He should not be on the Edmonton Oilers.
I had someone reach out to me the other day who is in the league and said, wow, they were watching a preseason game, said, wow, he should absolutely not be in the league.
Okay, well, I said, you know what, like,
So I'm just saying it's not off base for you to say that.
we want to be. We're going for the cup, right? So there's
Josh Brown isn't
our
on that team.
Quality of roster is going to be different than
Has to
say 32.
Yeah.
So maybe he makes 32. Whatever. Don't give two shits.
Would be happy if he's a flame.
Not on our roster. I still sit here and go 3 years, one like it's just you could have given that to Vin at 3 years at probably like buck 1.5, maybe a hair more, and your 3RD is taken care of. And he's also a really good PK.
I don't like Josh Brown very much. I'm sure he's a fantastic person.
You got beat up by Kesselring in the first 5 games last year.
I can't tell if they're going to have the, call it stones, to waive him after giving him 3 years.
I say yes.
I think they do.
I said it to Gregor the other day. I was like, maybe they just send him down to the AHL and tell him to go play 20 games. And Gregor's like, he's 30. It's like, oh, yeah, he's not like 26. And it's like, maybe he just needs to sharpen up. It's like, no, he's 30. So that's concerning. But if they want to save money, and they should be in the game of accruing cap space here, right? It should be Josh Brown goes on waivers. Obviously, he'd clear, and you should sign Dermott for league minimum to be your number 7. He can play the left or right side, and you save money.
Oh, yeah, I guess he's...
Oh, you didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Liam.
On Josh Brown? Oh, on this.
Yeah.
Um,
The other part.
Jack Campbell has entered the NHL/NHLPA Player Assistance Program and will be away from the Red Wings for an indefinite period. That was tough to read out loud.
An indefinite period of time.
Indefinite period of time. From Chris Johnson.
I mean, he's obviously been through a lot.
Pulling
So, yeah, hopefully, like CJ ends the tweet with, you hope the best for Jack Campbell.
Yeah, pulling for him.
Not
you
easy.
know?
And especially, I'd imagine he went to a Red Wing. He's in a Red Wings organization with a lot of goalies. If it was a tough camp for him, you kind of feel for him. So, yeah. Anything
Back
else
to
on
the
Josh
delicious
Brown?
debate. Josh Brown, womp womp.
You run Stetcher and your 7 is Dermott.
I don't even know
At
how it's a
750.
conversation that it's not Stetcher.
I think they brought him in for you want that big defenseman, okay? So you lose Vin, you bring in another guy. It's sort of kind of like him, but he's not as good as him. You want a big guy like that. As much as people like to say, size matters in this league still. Forwards are getting bigger. You need a big defenseman who can do the things that you want a big guy like that to do. He can't do it though.
I agree. Like,
So they took a chance. They gave him 3 times 1. Hope for the best. Didn't pay off. Ship him. Let's move on.
Yes, because they signed him because big, and that's all.
Why the 3 years makes no sense. Like I know you can just put him in the minors and it just goes away. Still 3 years makes no sense.
They probably were thinking, one, yes, if it goes poorly, like who cares with the Oilers? We have deep pockets. Just send him down for 3 years. But then if it works, and it's like, right now we have a $1 million defenseman for 3 years.
They should have just known it wasn't going to work.
But they brought him in
Brown
for
and
because
money,
of
go away. Give it to
McDavid and Knobloch's experience against him. You remember
Yeah.
when that came out? So like they clearly
It's
felt,
like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
remember when we were in Erie 10 years ago?
Yeah.
it was
We
literally
gotta stop
12
talking
years
about
ago.
junior hockey when they're 27.
He's
Yeah.
30.
Well, Connor's like,
Yeah, okay, I know.
But yeah,
Yeah.
10 years ago, sorry.
That's another thing too. Connor's 27. Josh Brown is 30. So
Connor
yeah,
was-
no kidding. He was
Connor
bigger and
was
stronger than
15
you.
He was 15 playing an
15.
18-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, tough one. Tough luck for the Oil.
I just like,
Are they going to sign Travis Dermott?
Yes.
I think they will, yeah. So
They just got to get through this part.
here's the thing. I was watching the game the other night against Seattle, and on Oilers Plus, they just had, it was Jack and Bob.
Yep.
And they were just kind of like talking as the game was going into one of the intermissions. And reading the tea leaves based on what Bob and Jack were saying, it's probably going to happen. Like, if you have Travis Dermott, guy with over 300 games of experience, as your
Yeah.
seventh guy, it's probably not the worst thing. He's going to be cheap.
And they played him on the right side last game,
I think that's significant.
right? So if he could play right side and left side, Brown can't play the right side. Very simple to me.
It's confusing to me.
I sort of get it at the beginning because it's still the 3 years thing, doesn't it? And that'll never make sense. But you bring in everybody you can at the beginning
All I can
and
think
see
about
what
is like
works and what doesn't work. And
they were
you
typing
shuffle
in
the things that don't work.
1 year deal, and then the fat fingers, on the keyboard, it slipped.
Damn it.
Like,
Happens.
who were they bidding against? Like, what? Maybe a team offered him a second year, and he was like, "I'm going there," and they were like, "Okay, screw it. We can bury it. Who cares? Give him the third year. We want the player." But like, why did you want him that bad?
It's just weird, like hoping that someone's, who he is, right? He's
Yeah.
30 years old. He's been in the NHL for however long he's been there. You know what he is. He's not what you want him to be. Don't try and force, a square peg in a round hole.
The analogy that was presented to me, obviously vastly different. So just don't laugh when I first say it.
Here we
But
go.
someone was like, remember when the Jays didn't get Ohtani and the next day they signed Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to be like, look, we did something. It feels like the Oilers lost Vinny and the next day signed Josh Brown to be like, look, we added toughness.
Yeah,
You can't say our blue line is small.
Yep.
And they basically just paid to kill a narrative.
Sure, I'll buy that.
annoys me.
You know what? I'm in.
Carrick, Brown, take their money.
And not even a
No,
carrot
no,
that
but
gets
that
us
doesn't
free
get-
syrup either.
I know, but that doesn't get you Vinny because Carrick's in the minors.
Yeah, but what they give him? $750?
Yeah.
Then you just have to alter one more forward spot. That's all.
I don't know. I'm okay with Vin not coming
Well, I
back.
guess that doesn't prevent Perry, but
I'll judge this blue line and I'll judge the Vinny not coming back thing based on what this team looks like come deadline. If Stetcher is still your 3RD come deadline, then I'll be like, yeah, okay, maybe you should have signed Vinny. But the reality is, they went and got Emberson. I know that was after the fact. At the time, though, Emberson they thought was Broberg. And I think they always wanted to leave a spot to upgrade.
Yep.
And they knew if they gave Vinny a 2-year, $1.75 million deal, it was going to hinder their ability to upgrade at the deadline because you can't bury it. And then Vinny's an expensive 7.
yeah.
also,
I just
like-
think you could have given him extra years to bring the money down.
In defense of Troy Stetcher, he's also a guy who's 6 games away from 500 games played in the league. His puck moving is by far better than the other options for that 3RD. And as far as I could tell in the preseason, the big problem with him is just he's not tall enough.
I think that's been the struggle his whole career is that he goes somewhere, plays well, and then a team goes, God, he's just not that big, and he doesn't run a power play, and it's like, we're going to get a bigger guy or a guy who specializes in something. He does a bunch of things good, but nothing great.
There's got to be more to it than that because you put him on a team somewhere. But he ships around everywhere.
He doesn't play full seasons. He just doesn't play 82 games, and I think that we've already seen how incredibly band-aid he is, and that's just his biggest issue. You can't come to a team and then play 3 games and go to injury and expect to be able to have a foothold there.
Well, he's also busy running Canucks Army, so he's got thousands things to do.
You can do that on the plane.
Yeah,
It's incredible that he's got
Paul
500
Corneli's
games.
plenty of time up there.
a lot of them were with the Canucks.
Yeah.
The majority of them are with the Canucks. He's basically just bounced around every year since he left the Canucks. But to his credit, too, at the deadline, a contending team seems to always want him.
And we're praying right now that Emberson can be that second.
That's another one, too.
I don't think we are praying.
We have to be
I am.
praying.
No, I don't think so. I think
I
that's
am.
too extreme of a statement. I think if it was Brown and Stetcher, then you're praying one of those guys.
Oh, I
At
think
the end
if
of the
Brown
day,
and Stetcher's
Emberson's
screwed.
23 years old and has the runway to figure it out. And you can give him that runway too, because you're like, worst case scenario, he's in your top 6, and we probably know
Well,
he
you
can
can still-
be there. But the deadline, you can go and upgrade on Emberson.
You may have to upgrade
you know-
2 right-handed defensemen at this rate.
I don't think so. I think just one.
You're hoping so.
That's the
yeah,
thing, is
but
like-
also like
We've
you're
we've
hoping
seen
a lot of
guys-
things.
You've seen guys
When I
swing
think
on,
about-
on other players before youth, and they just not really.
When I
fit
think
well.
about the defense, like top pairing set, no problem with Ekholm and Bouchard. Like
5
locked
guys set.
left,
4
but
guys.
second pairing though, Daryl's banged up.
Yeah.
Then you got Emberson as kind of penciled in beside him. All of a sudden, hey, even in your second pairing, you got question marks. So I'm with Rick in the sense that like you're praying for this to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Emberson still got very few games played. Like there's,
But we were all
he's
happy
green.
with Broberg being there with a left-handed shot on the right
wasn't.
side. I think a lot
I
of
was
people
more
were.
confident, but I suppose that's somebody I've
Broberg,
watched a
Emberson.
lot more than Emberson, obviously,
Yeah.
right? So there's going to be some bias there, but at the same time, if you're saying, "Hey, I think Emberson can do this," and he's got the runway and stuff, I think all that stuff Broberg has as well. No,
I just hope Emberson comes in and like, listen, he was on. I've heard Frank talk about him like glowingly and just like the opportunity he's got in Edmonton. I hope all of it works out, but like we don't know yet is really the problem. And we're talking about a team that's got Stanley Cup aspirations, and there's 2 big holes on the defense as I see it currently,
the same
and they're both on the
spot.
right side.
Like-
Left side, like Ekholm, stud. Simple Daryl. If we get Simple Daryl, I'm going to be happy with it. Brett Kulak, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Right side is just not like outside of Bush. It's just
See, and
not
I think
the same.
having said all that, that really makes Dermott, who can play both sides, that much more valuable.
That's why I think he's going to get a
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah, I believe he
Yeah.
gets that done.
Yeah.
And Brown goes down to Baco.
Anything else on delicious debate?
You missed out on
22 minutes.
Tyson Berry.
Well, Tyson Berry
Yeah,
did
good for
sign
him.
down in Calgary. We bid him well.
He really wants to be close to the Oilers,
Could
doesn't
have
he?
helped
I
our
think
right
so.
right side though.
He would have been
1.25.
just strictly a vibes guy.
1.25, eh?
Good for his agent for squeezing out a little bit more there. I always love when guys go from PTOs to getting more than league minimum contracts, and it's like same thing as Josh Brown. It's like Calgary, who are you bidding against?
Then they'll get like Cowboys to bring in Chili Boys. Some more money in the other pocket now.
Yeah.
Smart. Good business.
We're fans of Tyson Berry.
Yep.
But he's going to have a long season because Calgary's going to be awful.
Or he gets traded to a contender, and he's the 7th defenseman on a playoff team to end the year.
That's probably the ticket, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Other things that we want to move on. We got to move things along. The NHL regular season has started, kind of. We do have a game on right now.
It's over.
Is it? What was the final?
4-1. Jack
Did you hit
Hughes
your
did
bet?
not score. No. Damn it, but Nick Bastian, is that his name?
Nate Bastian.
Nate Bastian. 2 points today. No one
or
else
Nate.
did.
Didn't Jonathan Kovacevic have 2 points?
Exactly. Who is that guy?
Big night for the Kovacevic family.
So we're up and going. They are where?
Prague.
Chechia.
Patrick Elios was there.
No.
I kind of forgot I did forget about him, but that's probably why the Devils went.
You also forgot the fact that you watched pretty much that whole game,
Yeah.
and Ryan McLeod was playing, and you
Yeah,
didn't notice
yeah.
that at all.
I had to remind you in the third period.
He's like,
I
oh, wait,
forgot
is
about
he, is he even
Did he
playing?
play?
He did. He
Yes.
played like
How do you
11:25.
go? Have a little look at the
Minus
box
one.
score.
Minus
And then a bunch of zeros.
Did he rip around the outside of the ice?
No, I think he 7-1 faceoffs, I think it was.
Well, he had to go in the middle for that.
Yeah. The rest of it was along the boards.
Let me find out how.
Anyway,
how
we
our old
wish
friend
you
did.
well, Ryan McLeod.
Yeah,
You are a friend.
good look, Ryan.
Former friend.
-1, 1350,
19
no
shots,
hits,
1 takeaway.
1 takeaway.
So
Classic
speaking of which,
Bastian.
the other, just Ryan McLeod, so now I'm thinking about him. The trade obviously brought in Matt Savoy. My favorite thing was when the Oilers on their Twitter/X account just said the Oilers are loaning Matt Savoy to the AHL Condors or whatever the verbiage was in that tweet. There was a bunch of Sabres fans underneath being like, oh, what happened to Savoy playing in the top 6? And I was watching the arguments go back and forth between all the Oilers fans being like, literally no one expected him to come in and play in the top 6.
Yeah.
The plan from day one was for him to go to the AHL. So.
We applauded the Oilers for making that plan known from day one. That no one had insane expectations on Savoy this year because the Oilers from the jump were like going to Bakersfield. We're like, cool.
Also, their roster just said, "Hey, listen, that kid's not going to make the team."
Yeah, the Oilers are very good.
The next thing I want to ask you guys about, did you see any of you the post on Reddit from a user that went into the store to buy himself a fresh jersey for the season? And there was the tag. We've got it up on the website if you want to have a look. The tag itself said it's $319.99 for the jersey.
So it's before the cresting, I'm guessing.
Underneath, an additional $10 was applied for the privilege of having the Play Alberta patch on the jersey.
I feel like you should get $10 off.
Hold on. Is that an option?
I don't know.
It is. So
So I
basically,
can keep my $10 and they can keep their patch.
yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so basically the way they're doing the jerseys this year is before there was the Adidas option, right?
Yeah,
That was $260, $270 on the team store.
something like that.
And that was their top of the line jersey. It was not exactly what the players wore. The fabric was a little bit different. Material was a little bit different. Wasn't stitched the same way, all of that stuff, right? There was that Adidas one. Then there was the Fanatics one, which again had a bit of the lower quality fabric and was more of like a jersey made for the fans. What Fanatics is doing now that they've overtaken it is you can still get that low tier one, which is called the breakaway jersey. And that one is $170 the Oilers are selling it for with a name on the back. No, that's the women's one. $225 with a name on the back.
How's the difference?
Okay, so $225 with a name on the back for that one. Then they still have that middle tier one, which is like the top of the line fan one, which is the same quality as the Adidas one you'd get last year. That one is $320 with a name on the back. And then they've also released the Authentic Pro, which is the exact same one you can get, exact same as what the players were. That's the one I would imagine as the Play Alberta patch. The Oilers are selling it for $630 with the name on the back.
$600.
Correct.
Whoa.
I would also like to add, because we have zero allegiance to OEG or whatever, you can go to another jersey store, maybe our friends at Sports Closet. Check them out. We love Sports Closet, 3 locations in Edmonton, and you can get them for cheaper. The Oilers have absolutely marked these up in a somewhat significant way on their website.
Wait. So the $600 jersey at the Oilers store, obviously $600, but you can get the exact same jersey at a different store for a much lower cost?
Yes, that would be true. So what did I say? That middle one, the one that was comparable to the Adidas one last year, the Oilers sell it with a name crested on the back for $320. Sports Closet on their website has that same jersey for $310, so $10 cheaper.
And the $600 one there is not available at Sports Closet.
Oh, never mind, $250. Damn, that's a great deal.
That is insane.
$250.
That's gross.
$600. Not what Sports Closet, but the $600.
That's if you want the authentic, though.
I couldn't care less. What's authentic? What makes it authentic?
It's like, I think the elbow stitching, everything on there, the material, it's exactly what the players wear.
They collect sweat from the underclothes, and then they pour some on all the jerseys, so it makes it authentic.
Oh, lovely
nice.
jubbly.
It's a mixture of sweat. You can't I would like Condors or Leon's. It's everybody's.
The price of
a spray
jerseys
bottle.
is just, it's wild.
I don't want people to sit there and look at like a price tag of $630 and be like, that's how much a jersey is now. Because to be fair, you can still get jerseys for the same price you got the Adidas ones at. They're still very expensive, but the point is that
They're not $600 yet.
Yeah. Adidas never had the option to buy exactly what the players wore on the ice. Fanatics is giving you that chance if you.
I
wish
mean,
to
if you
take
want it, I guess it's fine.
But
Whatever.
Generally, like the material's heavier. And like, again, it's meant to be durable and worn on the ice. I would not buy one. And
I need a jersey that is going to be durable enough to know that I plan on spilling beer on it.
Mustard.
Not washing it ever. That you're the mustard
Mustard's
guy.
got it. Listen, mustard came off real well.
Well, shout out to Mrs. Talboy.
100%. Thank you.
Liam, you in for New Jersey?
Maybe New Jersey, not a New Jersey. Am I right? Unbelievable. I'll be wearing my Devon Shore jersey next season.
For the rest of time.
Yeah. Well, that is crazy. If anyone's thinking of getting me a gift for Christmas, don't buy me a jersey.
Spend $600 on anything else.
On all my gifts.
Or we were talking about in the other room. If you want to buy Liam a Christmas present, fresh pair of Lulus. Come on.
Yeah.
We are a Lulu.
We are
podcast.
Lulu gang. Any Lulus on today, Dan?
Nope.
No Lulu.
No Lulu
Rick?
on today.
Do not own anything Lulu.
Guys,
Buddy,
you don't,
nothing.
you
Get a
don't
pair of-
support local.
Bro, the pants are so good.
I'm
Well, they're
dude.
like $180 though, aren't they?
Well, you were going to buy a jersey?
I'm more of an
I
aloe
need
guy
a jersey.
myself.
I'm
Aloe vera?
glad I've
Aloe.
been sitting down for this.
I went to Aloe once, and the guy in there, they were running a sale, but there was no advertising of it anywhere in the store. He just came up and was like, "Hey, man, I can get you 30% off today." I was like, "Sweet." Went and looked. A hoodie's like $195. I'm like, even 30% doesn't make this appetizing.
I want to go.
Sunday
Like,
Red's like 180.
I went by the Aloe store in Toronto, and I have no way of proving this whatsoever, but I'm pretty sure that they had McDavid model for the mannequins, and then they had Lauren model for the mannequins. Because when you look at them, it just looks like the two of them. Anyways, that's my.
I want to go back to this. I think like if you buy a pair of these pants, you'll be in on them.
Rick,
Yeah.
I've owned
Like
this
Lulu's?
this pair I'm wearing right now. I've had them for like 6 years.
I
They're
have
still perfect.
4 pairs.
Tyler's
of
the
these
one that
pants.
convinced me to start buying them when we were traveling all over the place.
Don't get me wrong,
Solidarity. We're not going to do it. We
I
can't.
do
it.
like
Sorry.
a good pair of sweatpants.
Yep, they're good.
The joggers.
Yeah.
But-
Don't do it, Rick.
I don't feel
Join
pressured
us.
right now.
Join us. Listen, they go well with the fresh kicks you're wearing.
You like those?
You know? You know I do. I already told you I'd rob you of all your shoes. Go ahead.
I'm not sure if someone was going to save this for Hot and Cold Performers, but I really want to talk about it.
Yeah, I was.
Connor McDavid, his post, him in a chef's outfit with the caption, "From the rink to the kitchen, see what I'm cooking up on October 7th." And then on his chef thing, it's written in handwriting, McDavid's.
Oh,
Is
sick.
he
We're
launching a
replacing the
restaurant?
Bob Burger.
Or
he's
is
not
he
correct.
launching his own restaurant?
No.
No.
No?
I mean,
He's going to replace the Bobby Nicks.
See what I'm cooking up.
But there's
Interesting.
no OEG Oilers branding on this thing. He just posted it.
I think we're getting. So what's your bet?
My sister was the one who sent it to me, and she thinks he's behind the Krabby Patty that's coming to Wendy's. And I will choose to adopt that theory. I think he's launching his own restaurant.
I have.
But wouldn't you have, like, there'd be some indication that was happening?
Is there?
No,
All right, what's your
that's-
bet? Like
this post.
But
My
there's like
thought
no
is-
building in Edmonton that's like, oh, that looks like it could be a new restaurant. Oh, there's been no talk of it.
There's just a restaurant with his face on it. We're like, hey, what's that going to be about? I think it's going to be the new Bobby Nicks.
I think it's a new Mr. Lunchables. I think he's going to launch the third version of Lunchables.
The Mr. Beast
Compete
lunch
against
is even,
Mr.
is
Beast.
even healthier.
Even though, watch
And more electrolytes. It has to have more electrolytes.
Yeah,
Just
you get
make
a
the
you get a
cheese.
BioSteel or no? Who's he with now? Under Armour.
Body armor.
Body Armor. He's with Body Armor, so you get a little squeezy of it, and then just like
If this was something about the Bobby Nicks burger, the Oilers would have posted it.
But if it's
Connor
something,
wouldn't post
but
it.
if it's something about his restaurant for him, we'd know. Like I would know.
If I had to
Whoa,
actually
whoa.
guess, I think it
Industry.
would be. I think it's like some
Insider.
kind of health food
Industry.
thing, something to do with Lauren and him getting into some kind of health
No,
food.
I'm
kick.
gonna go the complete opposite way.
go ahead.
Pizza
food.
restaurant. He posted a picture. His last post
You don't
was
use tongs to make a pizza.
You don't.
yeah. I was gonna say, speak for yourself.
He eats with
I would
tongs.
like to know how you
Liam
use
eats
tongs
with
to make a
tongs.
pizza.
His last post that said, "A summer for the books." The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th, 9th, 10th picture on the post was him placing a picture. Dan, can you confirm?
Yes.
A pizza, sorry,
I
not a
can
picture.
confirm he was placing a pizza, not a picture.
Into a pizza oven.
And he's wearing a pair of jeans with a string as a belt, and his dad's not wearing shoes.
That is those shouldn't be out there.
Hold on,
First
that's
of all,
Connor's
this-
style, though. We know
First
Listen,
of
he's
all,
being
the
connecting
lace-
with the earth.
The
Connor
lace
was-
belt
Yeah.
is classic.
He was the first thing. He was the first person on earth to ever do that.
also a picture with
true.
his grandparents.
But he went to the
Skate lace.
award show with it.
Yes.
Yes,
He
very
took
nice.
it to the
Yep.
Never
10th
forget.
level.
And also, I am fully behind Mr. McDavid not wearing shoes. I love not wearing shoes in the summer.
Oh, and I am definitely I have a lace belt too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Very interesting.
Dude, the
In
thing
that-
saying McDavid's on it, this is the reincarnation of Don Cherry's. Wayne Gretzky's. They've all had restaurants. Connor's getting a restaurant.
LeBron has a
At
restaurant.
the airport?
They might
in the
announce-
exact
I mean-
same spot.
Depends. Do you think that they're opening on the 7th, or do you think they're going to announce that, hey, listen, we're going to start development, blah blah blah? Because that maybe, but they're definitely not opening on the 7th.
Very
That would be.
interesting.
I would know through industry people. I would definitely know by now.
Well, Rick, as someone, sorry, Dan,
Like
I was just
3
going to
days
say, not
away.
the industry I think I'd be getting into at this moment.
But to be fair, Dan,
I
you
would
don't
never
make
get
12.5
that
million a year
That's also true. Yet,
yet. True.
bag milk, next contract negotiation. I'm just saying.
Listen,
What if they just take a part of the arena?
Well, Rick, this is what I was
And
going to
make
ask
it
you.
McDavid's.
And maybe this goes for everyone too. not
oh,
just Rick.
I got another idea. Go ahead, Liam.
Is there any space in Ice District?
The Grand Villa Casino, I think, is up for rent.
It's always up for it.
I
what
think
if-
that they're just, that story where
Grand
Connor
Villa
would
people, talk to me. I'll tell you how to make money.
we know that story that Connor would always go eat dinner at like the Grand Villa Casino or whatever in the back. That part is now McDavid's.
I think they're going to convert the entire thing into like a rec room style.
Oh,
This-
what's the steakhouse in there when you go up the stairs? What's that thing right there? Atlas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the McDavid's.
I'm just saying if it was OEG tied in, the Oilers would have announced or teased this.
a
And
good
there's the
point.
other angle that the
No, they
most
gotta let Connor do it. So like, you do this. He gets everything he wants till he signs that damn piece of paper.
That's true. Yep.
No, I want to put it out there first.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
AAV is lower on his next deal because they're giving him free rent.
Holy mother!
Crack the code. All right.
There we go.
All right.
well,
Podcast
so, yeah.
is over.
What
So
would be
my official one is up the stairs. That Atlas. That is now the McDavid. That
what
is
would be a
McDavid's.
big bummer is if it's like 7 locations other than Edmonton. Damn it.
Toronto,
all
Ajax,
seven are in
Mississauga.
Toronto.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
The greater Toronto area.
Why
gets
is
7
Newmarket
McDavid's.
getting one? Come on.
9 new locations in Toronto, 7 in Mississauga.
I do not want to know what the rent is around Ice District. In Ice District,
This much.
it is bigger than that.
This big?
Oh man,
Stop me.
You're gonna need.
Well, see, there you
Oh.
go. It's
More
just
than one
whoever
comma.
said it. Free rent for Connor.
What if
David's
it's
is in.
Yeah,
What
I
if
think
it's on
Atlas,
Jasper?
Atlas becomes McDavid.
I heard a
That's what it's
rumor Daryl Cates pumped $3 million of capital into this project.
Wait. They've been renovating Horlock Park for 3 years now.
There's a $1 million stake on the McDavid's menu, and every year Daryl Cates goes and buys one. Ding, ding.
Yep. It's like gold plated or whatever. Mhm.
My bet is Horlock Park.
My bet
What
is-
the fuck does that? He's dressed as a chef.
But a restaurant, a restaurant in Horlock Park because
Yeah, because no one's been in there.
and
We have
Daryl-
no idea what they're building in
and
there.
Kate
We
lives by
haven't
there.
seen what's inside Rexall Place in years.
Whoa.
Well, Connor actually lives right next to Kate's.
Bingo.
And Draisaitl there too.
Whoa.
And Nuge.
Get
Gang's
it.
all there.
Get
And-
doxxed.
Does Nuge live there?
Yeah, dogs. And now we'll show you their address. Only if you're watching on the YouTube and you're subscribed.
Yeah.
I'll go live right outside their house.
Also,
I'm
here
not scared.
is the credit card info.
The
and
security
stuff.
Our
group.
first Tuesday show.
Yeah.
Why can't we set it up like it's on the sidewalk?
We could do it at the park right across the
there
across
a
the street.
cul-de-sac? We can
No,
do it in
there's
the cul-de-sac.
there's a hill before the cliff
What day is the 7th?
that we would get pushed
Is it
on.
Monday?
Monday.
Well, Tuesday, it looks like we're going to McDavid's. Little team lunch.
Yeah.
All right. We'll team lunch at
also just
McDavid's.
sounds so much like McDonald's.
I will. So maybe that's another thing is where their McDonald's is doing those collabs. Like Lil Yachty had the chicken thingy.
Yeah.
McDavid's is just
Travis
like
Scott, didn't he have something?
yeah, something like that. So McDavid's is just like some celery on a bun or something
No,
like
that's
that.
the McKinnon. And it wouldn't be if it was a bun, it'd be like gluten free.
Is there a McDonald's anywhere near the arena?
Yeah. Oliver.
Yeah, so that one's gonna be McDavid's.
yeah. This is
That's
very
troublesome.
interesting.
Very slow over there.
The ice cream machine's always broken.
Oh.
All right.
Get the drive through. Can you go park over there, please?
Couple of things I want to
Go to
work
the
through
drive through.
before we get to some other segments. Tyler, you wrote an article on Oilersnation.com about Jeremy Swayman's situation in Boston, which is hilarious because they traded Allmark to Ottawa. He was like the 1A, former Vezina winner, all that. Brought back Korpisalo, clearly wanted him to be the backup, wanted Swayman to be the guy. They played their cards early.
Yeah.
Now Swayman is not signed. The season is about to start, and it's just getting weird over there.
Everything would be fine if Cam Neely didn't say that 64 million thing. Like if you just kept everything quiet, it would be out of the public. I mean, obviously there'd be speculation, whatever, but there wouldn't be this much fire that people can throw out there. Like write that sign behind the net last night, take 64 million or leave or
Yeah.
something like that. You couldn't put that sign out there. There would be a lot more people on his side, the goaltender's side, even though the 64 has never really been offered as far as I understand.
It was
I think-
63.8.
I think it actually went off the rails before when Buddy was the president, team president.
Don Sweeney.
Yeah, or GM made the comment about the podcast, the
Spitting up on yourself.
Spitting up
on yourself podcast, and how and he started a war there, and then the public kind of gets involved, and they're going to take the non-team side every time.
But Swayman's still out of it. He's not involved really.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
He's just a tertiary member, but now he's right involved.
Well, because it
was
but
it
it-
offered, was it not?
It turned into Swayman versus the Bruins.
Because the
And then
Swayman camp wouldn't have said shit then.
I think the podcast took the spot of Swayman, and now that's the podcast versus the Bruins.
And then you have the Amazon doc that drops where there's a scene in there where Swayman says, I took every negative thing the Bruins said about me in arbitration last year. I wrote it down and I look at it.
Doesn't everybody do that? When
I do
everybody
that
says something
after all
negative
my
about them?
performance
Yeah,
reviews.
you
you see that out of
I haven't
draft
taken
picks,
notes
who,
on all
like,
these
I have a
years.
chip on my shoulder, and these 9 receivers are taken ahead of me, and
Yes.
who are they? Oh, this one, and tell you exactly
Oh,
which
I'm
where
gonna
they
say
are.
Brown, where he just kind of is like,
This guy went first, that guy went 3,
yeah.
that guy went 7, that guy went 9.
Josh Rosen.
Yeah, Josh
When he
Rosen.
went 10.
So I just wanted to go back to your article, though, Tyler, of how you tied Swayman to Stuart Skinner, which I find interesting.
Yeah, so like I think part of the reason why the Bruins are maybe hesitant to pay him is because Jeremy Swayman wants to be paid like a workhorse number 1 goalie. His career high in games played is 44. He's never played 50 plus. He's never taken a team deeper than the second round. He's never done a lot of things that a workhorse superstar starting goalie has done. And people view him as a young up and coming guy, but he's exactly 23 days younger than Stuart Skinner. They're basically the exact same age. What's Skinner's next contract look like? Because he has 2 more years at 2.6, so the cap's going to go up a little bit.
2 more years. Okay, good.
2.6, then he's a UFA. Swayman's an RFA. So Skinner has the ability to, that leverage point of I can test the open market if I want to. And, we did our Four Nations face-off preview where we predicted the Team Canada's roster. I think we all had Stuart Skinner on there. So what if Stuart Skinner plays 55 games again this year, which he likely will? What if he plays well? What if he goes to the Four Nations face-off and boosts his stock? What if the Oilers go on another deep playoff run? He's sitting there saying, I've done all of these things that Jeremy Swayman hasn't. I'm the same age. I'm a pending UFA. He can make the case that he deserves more money than Swayman.
I think he almost deserves more money than Swayman right now. However, I'm just curious, where do you guys have 1, 2, or 3?
1.
One.
I think
One.
he should
Okay, that's where I
start.
have him.
Yeah, one.
I think that. Well, I think that was kind of the idea of what Swayman's been doing here. That's what Sweeney was saying, is that he's trying to reset the goalie market, because I think it died after Carey Price.
He can't reset it because he hasn't
No, I
done
think
what some of the other goaltenders have.
But no, that's
I
what
think
he's
it
doing.
died.
Like
I know.
if he gets it, then every goalie can point to him as the new minimum.
But I think this is part of he's seeing what happened in the NFL with quarterbacks getting their secondary contracts.
Yeah.
Like the 5 highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL have 0 championships.
yeah.
That is insane. These guys are getting that much money without really doing anything.
In
And
some
I
cases,
think-
like, didn't Jordan Love sign his massive ticket, like, with only a handful of games on his
Yes,
belt?
like 6.
Yeah, it's kind
And
of
so
one
I
of
think
those
this is
things.
what kind of what the goaltender's trying to do, where the NHL may not be in that type of mindset yet, where we're like, oh, you're the next guy up, we'll just pay you what, because he cannot ask for more than what's his face in Winnipeg.
Hellebuck?
Yeah,
Who's
he
8.5.
cannot go and try and get what Bob
can.
gets
But
in
why?
Florida.
But why can't he ask
They
for
were
it? Hellebuck's 31.
Vezina.
Yeah, I get that.
Vesna potential.
It's interesting because
Well, I
right
mean,
now
Swayman.
in the
Schultz
NHL,
was
a lot
Norris
of these-
potential. He didn't get paid like that.
That's true.
I don't know. You disagreed with my take on Carey Price?
I
being
think Bobrovsky set the market.
So was he 10?
He's
I think
10
he
and a
almost
half.
broke it.
I think
that's-
he
that's
did
the point,
almost
yeah.
break. I think
Is
he
that
did
it-
break the market because then, so the top 4 goalies right now paid. Carey Price is still 1. Then it's Bob. Then I'm missing a guy. Is it Sorokin?
Vasilevsky?
Vasilevsky's like 4, but there's another guy.
What Sorokin's last ticket
Oh, maybe it was Vasilevsky.
Yeah, Sorokin's 8.25.
Yeah. And then Hellebuck. So there's your top 5. So I don't know. I think it's just the way the league is right now. Like Skinner's got to get paid, Ottinger's got to get paid, and Swayman have to get paid, and they're all 25. And probably the future of the position.
Swayman
no?
Swayman.
Swayman?
Swayman should be jumping on 8 times 8.
Totally.
Jump on it. Hold on for dear life.
But that was the first time he's heard it.
Allegedly. In the agent's opinion.
I mean, I don't think the agent can come out and say this is the first time we heard it, or it's never been like offered to us. If it's been offered, because the Bruins would come back instantly and go, yeah, no, it was this day. Here's the text.
Either way, they're playing chicken right now in Boston and net, and it's going to be interesting to watch play out. They played their cards early, dealing Ullmark to Ottawa, so Korpisalo is the starter right now.
Real bad.
And they claimed a guy the other day off waivers, Yuri
Canucks.
Yeah, from the Canucks.
Well, out of curiosity, how much would you pay Skinner? Let's say in this hypothetical scenario, Swayman gets 8.5 for
Let
8
me
years.
rephrase. Are you happy with 8x8 for Stu?
I would take it.
I would be happy. I don't think he would be happy.
No, and I think one thing the Oilers have in their favor, and we talked about this, and I said in the article, but like local guy, chance to win, drafted, developed here, started a family in Edmonton. Like, I think if you go term with Skinner, you'll get the AAV cheaper than you think. Like, I think a good deal, if we're talking next summer and they want to do an extension because the Oilers just won the Stanley Cup and we're all very happy. 8x7, 8 years, $7 million. Lock him up, starting goalie for the next decade.
$7 million?
Yeah. I think he would do it.
Sure.
Sign it right now.
Because you do have to remember, people talk about the tax difference, you know, in like Florida, Nashville, whatever. There also is the advantage of when you get to live in Edmonton, you get USD.
Yeah.
And then you get to live in CAD.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
It's a 30% lift right there.
it's a 30% lift, like the house you buy, all that stuff.
And that's for probably 60% of the games you play.
And so, yeah, so
not
for
more.
a guy who, again, presumably will just, he's an Edmontonian, he will stay an Edmontonian, you can have your life here and you're making, 30% lift.
Man, if we can get it for $7 million, that'd be Christmas.
Let's talk some betting, gentlemen. I got a new game for you. It's called Playing Favorites.
Whoa.
Never do that.
The betting segment is brought to you by our friends at Bet365, proud partner of Oilersnation Radio. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Use the promo code OILYBONUS. The boys were watching a little bit of regular season hockey this morning, and they used the promo code OILYBONUS when they first signed up, as should you. I've got a new little game here, so I'm trying to keep you boys on your toes with the betting segment here. So I'm calling this Playing Favorites. I'm going to give you some lines from the opening games for a handful of teams. I'm going to tell you who the favorite is in that game. I want you to guess the line.
Oh, fun.
So we're just straight talking money line. All right? So the first one I've got for you, Seattle versus the St. Louis Blues.
Oh, this is at 1
It's
p.m.
Liam's favorite matchup. He cannot wait to tune in for this one.
Currently, the Seattle Kraken are listed as the favorites in that game on the money line. What do you think their line is?
140. Minus 140.
120.
130.
Minus 120.
130.
Dan, you got to guess?
150 minus.
Tyler nails it. You're very good at this. Minus 130. Seattle favored it to win over the St. Louis Blues in their opener. Next up, we were just talking about the Bruins. We've got the Panthers and the Bruins. The Panthers are favored here. But by how much? What is that line, Liam?
110.
Minus 110 for Liam. Dan, you got a guess?
130.
125.
I'm going 160 because they don't have a goaltender.
They are minus 150, the Panthers, to win that
Wow.
one. So they are quite heavily
Talked about that
favored
for
in
20
that
minutes.
game. Different kind of angle here.
Oh, that
Two
Bruins.
younger teams. We've got a season opener between the Utah Hockey Club and the Chicago Blackhawks. Utah is favored, but by how much, Tyler?
I'll say minus 140.
Minus 140 for Tyler. Rick?
I'm going to go a hair over a pick 'em, so 120. Minus 120.
120.
125.
You guys underestimate the Utah Hockey Club in the eyes of the betting public. They are currently listed as minus 170 favorites on the money line over the Chicago
170.
Damn.
Whoa, I'll be betting.
I'm taking the Hawks.
Yeah, go Hawks, go. What are the
Bulls.
Hawks? Do you have
Blackhawks.
it?
They are plus 145 on that money line.
Hawks
Damn,
money line,
Daniel.
Bedard anytime.
Taylor Hall anytime. Been seeing him do his things where he just like crashes into the net
Yeah.
through the preseason.
Yeah,
That's what he does.
he is a disaster. We're doing some original six lineups here, gentlemen. The Maple Leafs and the Canadians. Obviously, the Maple Leafs will be favored in that game on the money line, which they are. What is the line, though, Liam?
200.
Minus 200 for Liam. Dan, what do you got to guess?
Minus 160.
Minus 175.
Minus 180.
Dan's closest.
Damn it.
Price is Right rules. Minus 170. The Maple Leafs are favored to win the Canadians. If you want to bet on the Canadians, a little sprinkle over there. That is plus 145 as well. The Vancouver Canucks versus the Calgary Flames, a Pacific Division matchup. That's their season opener. The Canucks are obviously favored in that game, but by how much, Dan?
Minus 180.
Sorry, this is in Vancouver?
They are in Vancouver, yep.
Minus 200.
Minus 220.
190.
Liam gets it dead on, minus 200.
Finally.
And you guys might already know this one, but our beloved Edmonton Oilers open up the season against the Winnipeg Jets. They are favored in that matchup. The Winnipeg Jets are plus 145 on the money line, but what are the Oilers?
Minus 130.
160 then.
Dan's got minus 130. He's got
It's not
160.
a direct correlation.
Minus 170.
Liam, you got a guess? Oilers are favored to win. Season opener at Rogers Place.
160.
Tyler nails it again. Minus 170 for the Oilers to win.
Because if one of
On the
them was
money line.
145 and the Hawks were 145, then the Oilers had to be the same as Utah.
Oh, I was all right. I was not going that way.
There you go. A little playing favorites. New game. Talking about betting. Boys are pretty good guessing their lines.
Yeah, we all
Boys
know.
are pretty good. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Use the promo code OILYBONUS.
Nice.
A couple of Ask the Idiots questions here, fellas. We've got 3 today. Some from our friends that you all know. I'm going to start with you, Rick. Ask the Idiots for Nation Vacation. We're going down to Denver, November 29th. We head down there on the Friday. We have got a viewing party. Edmonton takes on Utah. So we're going to have a viewing party. We got that all organized. We're going to join us. We're going to hang out. We're going to have some cocktails. We're going to watch the boys play. The next night, that's Saturday, we are going to the game. Edmonton and Colorado. We got tickets. You're in. Sunday, we've already blocked it off. We're a football day on Sunday. We are relaxing. We are chilling. We are draft. We are DKing.
Oh, so good.
And then on Monday, we are going to Monday Night Football. We've got Denver taking on Cleveland. If you want to join us, there's only a handful of spots left. We've got the flight option if you want to fly down with us, or if you want the non-flight option, that's also available. Nationgear.ca. Sign up. This thing's going to sell out within the next week or two, I would bet on it. So if you want to join us, get over there today. Rick, you're up first. This one comes in from our boy, Steven Fiddler.
Right.
It's not a GIF, this one. Normally we communicate, he and I, via GIF. These are actual words. Given reports that the Amazon doc shows Connor McDavid has an irrational fear/dislike of ketchup, what's one thing that everyone on the pod has an irrational fear or dislike of? What do you hate, Rick? What's something you just don't like or you're afraid of? I'll start if you need something. I hate moths. They're disgusting.
They are gross.
I will run away from a moth if it is flying near my face.
I have no fear, but I'm right there with Connor on the ketchup thing. I don't fear it, but I do not like it. I've never purchased a bottle of ketchup in my entire life.
Wow. Stunning.
Wow.
What do you eat fries with?
I'll go into some sort of perhaps chipotle and mayo dip.
Okay.
An aioli, perhaps like garlic aioli.
Sure.
Very interesting.
Barbecue sauces and hot sauces will take care of your ketchup needs on meats.
Says a lot, really.
Tyler, do you have anything that you have an irrational fear of?
I hate the smell, taste, anything vinegar. Salt and vinegar chips, people who do vinegar on their fries. If a sauce is like too vinegary, all of it. I can't stand it. Cleaning the house. Amber will like clean the house with vinegar. Ugh, can't go into the room after. I hate it. Hate it so much.
Sambuca.
I love Zambuca.
Gross.
So Sambuca's a tough one.
Love Zambuca.
I could not drink
And
a shot of
that's where
Zambuca
like
right
the
now.
smell gets you too. Like, oh.
Yeah, I just like, you know what? It flashes me back to Cowboys. Just smelling Zambuca flashes me back to Cowboys as an 18-year-old because it's the only shot I felt like I could take. Liam, do you got an irrational fear of anything?
Is it just food?
Whatever you want.
I feel like
I said
probably
moths.
I feel like he has like a handful of answers here.
Well, I did have a couple from what you guys said. Dragonflies would, I think, would be a good one. They are, the dragonflies in England are like the size of my pinky. Here, they're the size of 50 pinkies. They're ginormous. So
But they're our friends. They eat the mosquitoes.
I know, but they're still massive. One of them, I was on a bike ride this
You
summer.
seen the size of the mosquitoes? They
I
gotta
know,
eat
I
them.
know. I was on my bike ride this summer, and one of them flew like right below my eye. actually hurt.
I was sold the bike the next
I
day.
was going
Dragonflies.
so fast.
Well, dragonflies are my friends. I
Dan?
like that they make love while they're flying.
Writing all the way down.
Dan,
Taking notes.
you got an irrational fear of anything?
Well, the first one that was triggered by the Sambuca that you mentioned is Jägermeister. I've had that thrown up on my feet 3 times in my life, and so the smell of it, I cannot do it anymore. So it's not really irrational. I have an actual reason for that.
Yeah, you have a reason.
But mine is Nutella. If I had the level of control that Connor had, I would never see fucking Nutella in my life. There's something about that looks like baby shit to me that I can't undo. And like when I see it, I smell baby shit.
But you liked chocolate.
I don't mind chocolate, but I've never tasted Nutella because of the look of it, the consistency of it, everything about it. I can't do it. So, but I don't have the same control that Connor does.
Do a blind taste test.
My kids,
fire one in there and
my stepkids will put like Nutella on with other things, and when I find it in the jar, like of the peanut butter, I fucking lose it. It's just disgusting to me. I can't handle it. It's Nutella.
Loses.
Yeah, can you see me? Yes.
I think we need a jar right over there.
Yeah, a little blind taste test here. Challenge coming.
Can't do it.
We'll maybe have Bag Milk's trivia with some punishment tastes.
It makes
from
my
Nutella.
stomach turn just thinking about the idea of eating baby shit.
I get it.
Next up, this one comes in from our boy Jay Carledge. I believe he's going to be on the nation vacation to Denver. I think
He's our Connecticut, New Hampshire friend.
Yeah.
New Hampshire.
Yep. So on Better Late Than Never this week, I was talking about how I'm going to take an active pro Darnell Nurse stance as much as possible this season.
You should.
So he wants to know what other people's resolutions will be. He goes, I know it's a cheap plug, and I'm disgustingly, awfully sucking up to him right now, but I'm always Team Rick. He never doubts this team, not once, no matter the information that's in front of him. He's like our Han Solo. Don't tell me the odds. Rick is always in. Do you have something that you kind of want to take a stance for this year? Like, I just think that the hate towards Darnell Nurse is so out of control that I'm going to try and counter it in my own way. That's mine. Tyler, you got something?
Stuart Skinner is a top 10 goalie in the NHL. I think we forget how young he is. I think we forget the circumstances he's thrown into. Other young goalies usually get to come up nice and slowly. He was literally just thrown in, and it was like, well, Jack Campbell sucks. You're the new guy. And he's never had like a good veteran backup to lean on or anything. He's been learning on the fly. Stuart Skinner is a top 10 goalie.
Liam, you got something?
Everything that Darnell went through.
No,
What do you mean, no?
I don't have anything off the top of my head that I'm going to change going into the season.
Listen, if Liam hates you, he's going to tell you. That's how it
It's
goes.
fine. Honesty is the best policy.
I honestly hate that answer.
Why? Want me to lie to you for content?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I want you to do the podcast.
that
I
is
just
what we
did
do.
it. He said, do you have anything? I said, no.
That is
Dan?
what we do.
What do you got, Dan?
Dan, you got a stance you want to take this year?
It's okay not to have an option, too. if you want to
I
move
don't
on.
get any credit from this listener for being positive, but I really do think I'm a pretty positive guy too.
Yeah,
I
you
would
never
agree.
really bash anyone.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think that even I'm going to be nice to Josh Brown if he stays on this team.
Oh, I'm
whereas
not.
the rest
I
of you
can't
guys,
handle that.
you guys are merciless. Listeners will note I was quiet that entire segment and just let you guys do your thing because there's a reason Josh Brown is here and it's hockeyfights.com.
Well, that was gonna
That is true.
I don't think he's gonna be here, so it won't be an issue. But Josh Brown, here or not, I don't. But I'm gonna stay, and I'm going down the positivity route here, and I think that I know you guys had some not doubts in him, but feel like there's might be better than Janmark out there. I think Janmark's gonna fulfill his role very well, and I do think Lavoie will crack this lineup. And I'm very happy Philp is where he is. I'm kind of surprised because he had so much time off, and the fact he's able to bounce back so easily.
Liam, I think you should commit to anytime T.S. Janmark's name is mentioned, you should have to say something positive.
Yep.
I'll say something positive. He's a good man.
I like that, and I like the name Matthias.
I might call my kids Matthias.
Or our friend Oilers Adam from San Diego posted a Photoshop, and it's the McDavid chef thing with Remy from Ratatouille on top of his head, and it's so fucking funny.
Oilers at it.
retweeted
So funny.
Just speaking of random things that are coming in while we're working through the podcast, Zach Lang is going to have, by the way, these are going to be spoiler alerts for the Amazon doc. He's just going to do kind of a quick recap of the Oilers stories that are in that doc. But he just texted me. You remember when Connor didn't go to accept the Conn Smythe and everybody's like,
Oh,
"Ugh."
yeah.
There's a line in there where he goes, I wouldn't have gone out there for $1 million.
Good, I wouldn't either.
And I actually don't think he's speaking in hyperbole.
I don't think so either.
No,
I love it.
I backed him 1,000% that second,
I think
I still stand by it.
I think most sane fans did. Yeah.
Anybody that watched J.S. Jaguar go out and accept his award.
He just looked like a dead man walking.
Are you guys gonna watch the documentary?
I'll watch it. I have to for content, unlike Liam participating in the bits.
I'm gonna wait until like Tuesday. I won't watch the Oilers part till Tuesday or Wednesday because I don't want any sort of like significant gap between being that sad again and getting to watch the Oilers win.
I have already had enough of seeing everybody repost the Connor yelling. That's my captain, whatever. That's fully expecting what to do that.
Right.
The fact that we need to go, that people need to like go out and
right fucking now.
It's posted out there. You can go find
Dig
it.
the fuck
Why
in.
everyone's got to take that same little clip and put it out there and put their own little thing on? Like, let it die. Do you honestly think Connor wants to keep reliving this shit?
I don't. He said
Let
he didn't
it
care.
fucking die.
I think there's
Stop posting this goddamn
there's a
shit.
question in our mailbag.
Well, I was posting the article you're working on anyway.
I can't remember exactly what the question, how it was framed, but it was basically like, "Are you surprised? Does this change your opinion of McDavid?" And it's like, well, I assumed that when they were down 2-0 and played terribly in both of those
we were
games,
there.
that somebody was going to step up. Should probably be the captain, not the one that stands up.
I
and
loved
yells.
it. I loved it.
Like, what did they just go in the room and get changed and go home? Like, no, of course
they're
someone's
pissed.
yelling in there.
I'm
sure there was more than just McDavid.
Well, that just
was
goes
yelling
back
at
to like
certain
the
points.
conversations we've had over the last couple of years when guys get into it, quote unquote, on the bench. Of course they are. Of course they are. We've yelled at each other in this room more than some of those bench altercations.
But I don't think I'm going to watch it because I don't think I don't need to relive that again. I know what happened. Seeing in the dressing room stuff, I understand the want to see that stuff and whatnot, but I could live without it.
Yeah.
I
don't need
do.
it.
I do want to give credit to the fact that, like, it seems from the clips at least that they got more access than I thought they would.
Who's
Well,
the?
yeah.
What's the name of the trainer, the bald guy?
Oh,
I
that's
Brad,
not TD.
He just like shuts the curtain.
I can't remember his
Brad Harrison.
He's the one.
Oh,
who plays
That's ironic.
assistant equipment manager.
Harrison. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Full marks to him for pulling the thing over.
Yeah. And also McDavid said, though, didn't he? He's like, they have the footage. They should use it. Like, I don't care.
He
Yeah,
said
and
it
that's
after a
fine. I
preseason
get
game.
where he's coming from. There's 0% chance he's going to say, I hope no one looks at this. I
Yeah.
hope they don't show it.
But I will say they should put on more videos of players getting traded, because I will never forget when Dustin Penner got traded and he was playing ping pong. Remember that on the
I also
oil
liked
change?
when
that was
I
special.
could have been the drop, I guess, when Tyson Berry got traded, and it's just so transactional. It's like,
yeah.
hey, Tyson, Ken here. Yeah, you got traded to the Nashville Predators. Anyway, see you later.
See you, Tice.
All right.
Bags are at the door.
We got to wrap up the pod.
Last
That's the way
question
the
here.
GM's
Let's
gotta do
fly.
it.
This one's real quick. Dan, outside of the Edmonton Oilers, which team are you most interested in seeing how they do this season, either good or bad?
Selfishly, for the hockeyfights.com angle, it's the New York Rangers and what they're going to do with Matt Rempe and how that is going to kind of develop for the season. So it's the Rangers.
Liam, who are you watching?
I'm going to say the Devils, because they're second on Bet365 for the odds to win the Stanley Cup. I don't know how good they really are. I think
Tyler?
they're out good.
Very intrigued to see what happens in Nashville. A lot of times the team that wins the offseason doesn't win the regular season at all. So I wonder if that whole spend a bunch on old free agents will work for them.
Don't care about anybody else.
Oh, nice one, Rick.
Thank you.
You said it, not me.
I'm going to go with the Vancouver Canucks because I wonder how bad they're going to get PDO'd this year.
Yeah, I was.
And we have their managing editor on our defense. So
Not to say I won't enjoy some of the shortcomings of some teams, but my focus is 100% on one team only.
Samesies.
Who's that?
the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oof. Damn, I hate them.
Pick the one that was really.
Well, there's a
grinds his
couple, but yeah,
gears.
that's one. That's definitely one.
All right, let's wrap up the podcast with Hot and Cold Performers. We are welcoming back our friends at Great Clips. Who needs a haircut in this room? I do. Tyler, you said you did yesterday.
Yeah.
We're all going to Great Clips. With more than 4,400 hair salons throughout the United States and Canada, Great Clips is the world's largest hair salon brand and official hair salon of the NHL. Salons are locally owned and operated and open 7 days a week. Your time is valuable. Use the Great Clips check-in app. See the wait time, check in on your phone, and get your hair cut when you want it. For more information, check out greatclips.com. Looking for a haircut? Get fresh before the season? Of course you are. Go to Great Clips. We're going to start with our veggies as we always do. On my screen to the left is Nation Dan. You are up first. Your Great Clips Cold Performer of the Week.
Well, shout out to people on airplanes that have their phones or their headphones die and they just decide to listen to the movie on cranked anyways.
Oh, my Lord.
That's going to get a cold performer of the week. That carried on for the last hour of my flight coming back from Toronto. But my actual quote performer of the week is going to go to the guy that I don't even know the name of him, but he was on TSN just after the game where the Senators lost Stützle, Tkachuk, and another guy to injury. His suggestion to fix the preseason was to have the coaches reach out ahead of time and agree to play their star players or not play their star players. It's ridiculous to me that we have to keep trying to recycle these ideas to try and fix the preseason, but that one might have been the dumbest idea I've heard for a long time to fix this preseason issue that we're having. So you get my cold performer of the week.
Worse.
The answer is cancel the preseason. Liam, you're up.
Put them in bubbles.
I mean, it's not too far away from what Dan said, not the airplane one, but the preseason one. Just how long it's been and how boring it's been. Like the others have played 8 games, and I couldn't have cared less about any of them.
7
Today's
games.
8. Enjoy the 8th and final preseason game, Liam.
No.
Oh, that's cold.
Okay, so how can we be talking about adding 2 more teams to the league
It's dumb.
when we can't even fill out preseason schedules? I have some questions.
The league should be contracting, not expanding, but that's not going to happen. Tyler, you're up. Cold performer of the week for our friends, at Great Clips. It is cold performers.
Mark Shapiro, Toronto Blue Jays, that end of season press conference was embarrassing. Injuries aren't the problem. You missed the playoffs. Management is.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
The Jays are an adventure. Rick, you're up next. Great Clips, cold performer of the week.
He literally said one thing that happens with injury. It shows the lack of depth in the roster, and then did not take any
Accountability for not
zero.
signing
Like,
depth.
I wonder who's in control of the
guys,
depth.
They got hurt, but you just said in your last breath injuries, but then there's depth. That's what your job is.
Yeah.
No, that's not me.
That's
Ridiculous.
not me, dog.
It's the Department of Player Safety for the the Stützle. Yeah, so
Xhaka.
I am like, you can't give him nothing because he didn't contact. You can't give him everything because you need to find attempted murder type of penalty here where if he attempts
It's called intent to hurt.
Yeah, and the intent to injure, I think, is worse, just because I think intent to injure is kind of like McSorley on Brashear type of a thing. That's whatever. This was in play, but he went for the head. He missed.
100%.
You can't get nothing. You can't get a stipulation like you hit him. So there needs to be a middle ground where we don't want people trying this, period. So if you try it and miss, you should still get penalized in some way. And also, I'm saying do not get rid of preseason. Shorten it. 4 games is all you need. But if you watch the NFL, these guys play no preseason. Offense has been terrible for the first couple of weeks. You do that in the NHL, the first 2 weeks of the season are going to suck.
I was being facetious with canceling before.
Well, some people are like literally at 0. Like 1 and 2 games, you can like cut your roster down. And then the last 2 games, use your roster. Let's go. And I do like they're going to go to 4 and then 84 games. I don't know if they're doing it yet, but they're talking about it.
What the hell is going on?
Well, I'm going a little dark. You can Google this on your own time, but we might have to bring down the Garth banner.
That is a true womp.
Hot performers?
Finish off with some positive news. Reverse the order. Rick, you're up next. Your hot performer of the week.
I give it to the NFL PA for trying to get reporters out of the locker rooms. Now, I'm all for the interviews and whatnot, but not in the locker rooms. Like, they should have, like the Oilers do that thing where they come out and sit at the tables and blah, 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 everybody can watch them. Set up something like that, but the reporters should not be able to go into the locker rooms where they're walking from the shower to their stall to the shower. There's emotion involved that gets put out there when it shouldn't be because we can't watch 2 guys like yell at each other on the bench. We assume that the worst is coming out of it. Keep them out of the locker rooms. Keep them out of that and just deal with your stuff elsewhere. That's their area. Stay out.
Put some respect on my name.
Tyler, hot performer of the week.
Baseball playoffs, MLB playoffs have been unreal. Pete Alonso's home run, the drama that we had in those other series in the AL, it's all been so good. Can't wait for the AL and NLDS.
Pour it on!
Go Guardians.
Liam, you're up next for Great Clips. Your hot performer of the week.
I moved into my new house last Friday. So my past week, and everyone helped me move.
He's a hot guy!
Nation Dan, hot performer of the week.
Well, it was just announced this week from the minds that brought you Ice Guardians, the people that brought you Making Coco, the Grant Fuhr story. They're launching a new documentary about Jordan Tutu called Tutu. So that'll be on October the 11th at Rogers Place. I'll be down there and checking it out, and it'll be launched there on streaming services afterwards. So the Jordan Tutu documentary gets my Hot Performer of the Week.
Cash money.
Oh, sick.
Friend of the show. I'm going to try and get him to come back on the show. Thanks to this.
Hot Performer of the Week is my dog, Frank. It's his birthday today. He turned 7. He's a very handsome boy, and he's a good boy. And I bought him a steak for his dinner tonight, so he's going to enjoy that later.
He's a hot guy.
Happy birthday, Frank.
They've done studies,
Birthday,
you know.
Frank.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Woof.
doesn't make sense.
These guys pretended that you understand English, Frank. Come on.
Score prediction, final preseason game. Let's shut this down. I say it is going to be a 12-1 win for the Oilers.
I'm going to say 4-2 Oilers.
5-1 Oilers.
4-1 Edmonton.
I'm going to say 4-2 Oilers.
There we go. Have a great weekend, everybody. The preseason is almost done.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.